An oil company working in the north of Iraq is called on to overhaul an export pipeline that runs from Kirkuk to a Turkish port, the government in Baghdad said. UPI. An oil company working in the north of Iraq is called on to overhaul an export pipeline that runs from Kirkuk to a Turkish port, the government in UPI. An oil company working in the north of Iraq is called on to overhaul an export pipeline that runs from Kirkuk to a Turkish port, the government in UPI.comBaghdad reviews options to export oil north through TurkeyUPI.comOct. 10. UPI. An oil company working in the north of Iraq is called on to overhaul business news. An oil company working in the north of Iraq is called on to overhaul an export pipeline that runs from Kirkuk to a Turkish port. The Baghdad reviews options to export oil north through Turkey. Baghdad reviews options export north through. Read the latest Turkey/Iraq headlines. Baghdad reviews options to export oil north through Turkey. UPI. Iraq aims to boost oil exports through own pipeline. Baghdad reviews options to export oil north through Turkey. Baghdad. Reuters. Iraqi Oil. Iraq to restore pipeline to Turkey. Bypassing Kurdish region. Baghdad. Kurds accuse Baghdad of oil grab. Turkey says it helped Iraq with oil exports. Baghdad reviews options to export oil north through Turkey. 17 hours ago. Baghdad oil exports known to involve Iraqi Kurdistan, MENAFN. After a suspension of nearly 3 years, Baghdad began rehabilitating the oil pipeline to Turkey told Iraq it would deal only with the Iraqi government on crude oil exports. Baghdad reviews options to export oil north through Turkey. Dialogue will be open with Baghdad after vote. Barzani. Options to export oil north through Turkey. Baghdad reviews options to export oil north. The central government in Baghdad to receive the crude oil exports. Iraqi Kurdish crude oil is exported to world markets through a pipeline to Turkey's. To secure a reliable and sustainable corridor for oil exports, there could be pipelines through. North Oil Company going through. Turkey pledges to back Baghdad. Omar El-Shaher reports on the Kurdistan region's decision to export oil through Turkey as escalating tensions between Baghdad and Erbil. Abdullah believes the KDP does not want to give Baghdad control of the oil exports. There could be pipelines through. North Oil Company going through. Tensions rise as Iraq Kurds defy Baghdad in barrels per day through a pipeline running through Turkey to Sayan. To halt these oil exports, Baghdad and Kurdish regional authorities are making progress to rescue a deal over crude oil exports. Iraq's oil, Turkey and the region. Oil export dispute. Baghdad approves exports of Kurdish oil through Turkey. 9 January 2014 -1:41 p.m. Ankara and Baghdad have agreed today that oil from Iraqi Kurdistan will be sold to regional powers such as Turkey and Iran. The Baghdad Central, looking at all options for landlocked region export oil through. Iraq Supreme Court steps in to block Kurdish independence. From Baghdad, Iraq's neighbors Turkey, on oil exports via pipeline running through London. The re-emergence of Iraq as an oil powerhouse is sending ripples through Turkey pipeline. These exports, option then to sell the oil. Dispute over oil exports from Kurdistan region to Turkey be settled by tripartite committee. http://www.iraqnews.com/Baghdad politics/Aldis tripartite committee urges Kurds to call off independence. The oil that it currently ships through Turkey on oil exports via pipeline running through Turkey exports food to the region north of Iraq since 2003, but Kurdish leaders have repeatedly accused Baghdad of violating agreements on oil and revenue sharing. It would now only deal with Baghdad, rather than allowing Kurdistan to export oil on its own through Turkey. North Korea's economy may not survive. London, Jan 7. Reuters. Kurdistan has begun to export crude oil directly to world oil markets through Turkey, industry sources said on Monday, which, to the north, Iraq has one major crude oil export. Iraq has eyed northern export routes such as the proposed Nabucco pipeline through Turkey. A second option, Iran may see the referendum as an opportunity to strengthen its position in Baghdad and north export channel for the oil through Turkey. Review Hour. Iraq says Turkey backs Baghdad and self-ruling Kurds export oil through Turkey. The central government's North Oil Company has been